Hello, I'm a graduate student at Gonzaga University. My program is teaching English as a second language. And as my research time came closer and closer, my advisors keep saying, try to do something that will impact your community. So since moving to Coeur d'Alene about 5 years ago, the one thing I think I've complained the most about to my husband is the lack of diversity. So the first solution I could come up with was, let's make more ethnically diverse people move to Coeur d'Alene. But I realized I have no control over that, and so I had to go to a second option. And as I go around Coeur d'Alene, I do realize there's about 5% ethnic minorities that live in the area. But if you really start to look, there are people, individuals, who represent those communities. And as you start to look harder and you start to get to know these people, they have wonderful stories to share about their culture, where they came from, what it's like to live in a community like North Idaho. And so for my research project, I will be talking to immigrants and minorities, taking their ethnographies, learning about their culture, their histories, their native countries, their language, and using all of that information to create teaching materials for teachers to use in their classrooms, K through 12, homeschool or private school educations. And hopefully these materials will be very useful. It will hopefully make everything a little bit more personal. You're not reading about Puerto Rican who lives in New York. You're going to be reading about, Johnny who lives down the street, and, the owner of this cafe who came from Mexico. And I'm hoping this will help create some awareness of the diversity that exists in Coeur d'Alene and North Idaho, and also hopefully overcome the idea that North Idaho is homogenous and, a white center population. So having a coalition like this one is great for me, so I can have resources, get advice from people who might know more about the history and about living here, so I can make this project better. And also, it'll be great when I'm finished with my research to give you the results, to share with you the positives and negatives and how things happened, and maybe some of you can go and implement some of these ideas into what you're doing. Thank you.
This is really fabulous, and we are just about to start. We have a wonderful assistant who's going to help us walk the microphone around the room. But before I forget, because I think by 3 o'clock I would forget, there's a person who's not here with us that I need to thank from the bottom of my heart. We were able, through the grant, to hire an assistant. Her name is Kristen Carlson, and that's who all of you have heard from, who she's emailed you and contacted you and called you and asked, who do you know and who else? She's a remarkable young woman, really organized, so that's a plus. But her commitment to these issues and her ability to get us here in the diversity of organizations and peoples and interests and the whole spectrum of human rights that we share. I cannot thank her enough. She couldn't be with us today. One of her best friends was getting married, so we said, well, I guess, okay, you can go to the wedding. But she did a fabulous job, and I wanted to say thank you. And now we're going to go around the room to the tables. Please.